everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be filming my March end of the month wrap up. I did film a middle of the month wrap up for you guys a couple weeks ago, just wrapping up the first 2 weeks of the month, just my reading for that. And I didn't read a lot this month, so it really wasn't necessary to do a middle of the month wrap up, but there was no way for me to know that 2 weeks ago. Also, this isn't going to be all the books you're seeing, or this isn't all the books that I've read for this month. I'll be having another separate wrap up for the Superhero Readathon that was going through the end of March and beginning of April. It's still the beginning of April. It's still ongoing, the readathon. It ends Sunday the 8th, and it's technically Tuesday the 3rd. So, it's still ongoing. But yeah, I will be having a wrap-up for that next week sometime. So this isn't even all the books that I've read in the month. It's just, there was no way for me to know that when I decided to go into this. But I am having a lot of fun with the readathon. I'm reading a lot of really great books, and I am doing also updates for that as well, so I can update, or I can link down below my middle of the month wrap up and my 2 updates that are currently up. I will have, I think, a third update before the end of the wrap up, and then, or before the end of the readathon, and then the wrap up for that. If I remember to link it, I will link the wrap-up for the readathon down below as well when when the readathon is over and I have that up. But for sure, I will be linking it in my April wrap-up. So, if I don't remember to do it in this wrap-up, you can check out my April wrap-up at the end of April and check, and find it there. Okay, so of course before we get into the books that I read this month, we first have to, oh my god, I can't talk. I first have to tell you about all of the games, the anime, the shows, and the movies that I played, watched, and saw this month. Which there are a lot. Okay, so for video games, I've technically started 4. I've only completed 2. I technically DNF'd 1, and am still ongoing with another. Alright, so for the first that I DNF'd was Ni no Kuni. I wanted to love that game. I really did. Okay, so I did the free trial for the PS Now subscription, which it's a subscription service where you can play games that are on there that you probably wouldn't be able to play now. Like, if you have a PS4, most of the games, I believe, are only for PS3, so none of those are actually, remastered. There are a couple games that I saw that were for the PS4 that, you could play those. You could buy those at the store, but I think if you really wanted to, you can continue with the PS Now and just play them through that. It is $20 a month, and you only get, for the free trial, 7 days. I had a $20 credit on my PlayStation account, so I used that for the first month, and I have since ended my subscription. I played 3 games on that. I played Ni no Kuni, which I have since DNF'd, and I have played the next 2 games that I will tell you about. But I am just not a fan of that subscription service, because you are streaming the games, so if your Wi-Fi isn't really great, or if there's so many people on there, you can get kicked off. The games can lag, so if you're in the middle of a really tough fight and the game lags, you can get killed. What can you do? So I'm not a big fan of when it's working properly, it's perfectly fine. It's great, but again, when it lags, it can be a big pain in the ass, and I just really, like, I found myself really getting upset when I kept dying in a certain fight, which it was a really, really easy fight, but I kept dying because it kept lagging, and I kept getting killed. That really annoyed me. So, Ni no Kuni, I have DNF'd partly because of the PlayStation Now, but also because I really wasn't liking certain like controls for the game. I just really wasn't liking some of them. I was liking the story, but I really got like, I wasn't even that far. But I just found myself not liking the controls, and again, the lagging was just annoying. And I know the game could be pretty long, so I just, maybe if they remastered it for the PlayStation 4, I would pick it up and I would try it again, but for now, it's not something I plan on going back to. I have canceled the subscription, so I'm definitely not doing that again. The second game for Ni no Kuni is out. I believe it's called The Revenant Kingdom. It is out. It came out the end of March, like March 27th or something. And you technically, I have found out that you can play that without playing the first one. So I think when I might pick up the second game. I may see how that is. But it's not going to be anytime soon. So yeah. The next two games are both in the same game series, and that is God of War. I played God of War Ghosts of Sparta, as well as God of War Ascension. I love both of them. I played them both on the PlayStation Now, and yes, there was a lot of lagging, and that's where I was getting really upset because I kept dying in this really, really easy boss fight. So easy. And I just kept dying. So, Ghost of Sparta, pretty sure, I want to say, I'm positive, but I'm pretty sure that it takes place, it's like a, kind of like a novella game, and it takes place between 2 and 3, I believe, because just that game links so perfectly to 3, because of, like, the events that happen in in this game, really show you how, like, how Kratos why he did what he did in 3. At least for me it did. I could be wrong. It could take place between 1 and 2, but I'm pretty sure it takes place between 2 and 3. I really did enjoy it, as well as Ascension. Ascension is a prequel to the entire series, because the third one ends in a way that, well, they shouldn't have been able to continue on. But they are continuing on, which I'll get to in a second. But they made a game after 3, which was Ascension, and that was a prequel to the entire game, and that leads you up to the first game where Kratos wants to kill Ares. And yeah, I really love both of these games. Even during the PlayStation Now subscription, where I kept dying, it was still a lot of fun. I still really love those, and yeah, they were great. I love God of War. I've always loved God of War. And then the last game that I'm technically currently playing is Tomb Raider. That's the definitive edition. It's the first in the newer type of Tomb Raider series. The second one is called Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think. I have it, and I'm trying to read it, but I'm blind. So anyway, I'm pretty sure it's this Rise of the Tomb Raider. And it's more like where Lara Croft is like a survival. You know, she's on an island trying to, this is before she became a Tomb Raider, when she's searching for her father, and, or, I don't know if she's exactly searching for him, but, she's at the what's it called? She is searching for the place that he was searching for. So this is before she was a Tomb Raider. It's more of her being like, you know, her trying to survive this island, and it's good. I tried playing this when it first came out. I'm not a huge fan of, you know, a bow and arrow. I love archery, I really do, but in games it's not the best for me. I'd rather have a sword. That's just me. So it can be really hard trying to aim when wolves are attacking you, and I think that's why I stopped playing, because I really suck at that. But I do love the Tomb Raider aspect. I've always loved like the mythology and the history and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I am trying to continue on with this game, and hopefully I can finish that and go into the second one. And then I know the third one comes out this year. I think in September or something. See, that's all the games. And then the anime, well, I didn't watch any anime this month. So, there's that. I just didn't get to it. I planned to. I of course planned to, but that never ends up happening. And then for the shows, I watched one, but I watched a lot, and that is Gilmore Girls. I finally caught up with Gilmore Girls. I watched seasons 4 through 7, so I've completed the original series, and then I finally watched A Year in the Life. I'm really, really upset with how they ended it, because of course I don't believe they're going to continue on, though I know. If you've watched it and you know what the ending is, you know what Rory says at the very end, and I know. But I'm not going to say anything, because just in case you haven't watched it like me, it took you like 2 years to watch it. Hopefully they will find a way to continue on with it, but because I did enjoy, I liked the last episode. I wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't gripping me with the first 3, because there is only 4. But the 4th episode I really, really loved. It was my favorite out of all of them. But yeah, I love Gilmore Girls. It's amazing, and I'm really sad that they ended it like that. That was awful. Okay, so now for the movies, because this is going to be so long, and I don't even have that many books to talk about. Movies, though, I have a ton. So we're going to start with the DVDs this time instead of the the ones I saw in theater, just to, I don't know, to change things up. So first off, I watched Murder on the Orient Express. I got that. All of the DVDs, I believe, are rented from Redbox. None of these are ones I owned, of course. But Murder on the Orient Express, I watched, and it was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was okay. I predicted who had done it long before, it was like, right when I saw the victim's body, I predicted who had done it. So I wanted more out of it. I didn't get a lot. But I do love the cast, of course, but it was okay. I didn't hate it. Then I watched Justice League, which I really enjoyed. I do understand a lot of people's, a lot of people being upset over this. I do understand that, yes, the team is not the best. It really, really wasn't the best. Flash sucks. I'm sorry. I don't like Ezra Miller's Flash. That's just me. Yeah, I don't think he's that great. If they would have gotten Grant Gustin from the CW show to be Flash, it probably would have been a whole lot better. But I just did not like Ezra Miller's Flash. But there were some really funny moments. I did laugh on a lot. I liked it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. Like Murder on the Orient Express, I thought it was okay. It is one that I will be buying, because I do want it for my collection. But Murder on the Orient Express, I don't think I will buy. Jumanji I saw. Welcome to the Jungle with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Jack Black, Karen Gillan. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good, continuation to the original Jumanji. They didn't try to remake it, which I thought was really good, and they used a video game aspect to it, which was amazing. I really, really loved it. I definitely want to own that one as well. I saw Coco, which I did not think I would like. I really didn't think I would like it. In the very beginning, I wasn't liking it. I was really bored. But once they went into the afterlife, and you just got all this bright colors, and it was so beautifully done, and the music was amazing, and I cried to the last half. I could not stop crying. It was amazing, and I loved it, and it's another one I really want to own. Okay, the last DVD I saw was Shape of Water. That one was weird. It was really weird. It was good, but it was weird. I don't know. I do want to read the book, because I know the book goes more into depth of, like, most of the characters, and it was just weird. I mean, it's about a woman falling in love with a fish, like an amphibian man, and it was weird, but it was good. I don't know. Okay, so now for the ones I saw in theater, I saw Black Panther. That was amazing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When that comes on DVD, I would definitely be owning it. It was amazing. Oh my god, Black Panther. Wow. I loved it so much. Like, I want to go see it again. It was amazing. I saw Love, Simon. Finally, I liked it. I really liked it. I'd definitely be owning that one when that comes out. It does change some things from the book, which I understand, like you should. There was one problem I had with it, and I don't know if I really want to go into that, but there was one issue that I had. But it still didn't, stop me from loving the movie, because I really loved it. I loved the ending. The ending was so beautiful. And I would definitely be owning that when that comes out. And then I saw The Greatest Showman again. That was amazing. How many times do I have to see that before, you understand how, like, obsessed I am with this movie. I've seen it 3 times. The DVD will finally be coming out next week. Next week. I am so excited. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I can't wait. The movie came back into theaters for one weekend. It was actually on Friday. And it came back for the sing-along, so me and my friend went and saw that, and oh my god, it was amazing. I loved it. I love The Greatest Showman, and I'm obsessed with that movie, and I will be. My wallpapers on my phone are all Greatest Showman related, so yeah, I love The Greatest Showman so much. And the last one I saw in theaters was Tomb Raider, and from what I understand, they changed it. I don't care that they changed it. Like, most of everything was similar to the game, which, I am playing now, and I'm playing it now because I saw the movie and I really liked it. But from what my friends told me who have finished it, it is different from the game. But I was perfectly okay with that. Again, like Love, Simon, they changed things, and it wasn't a horrible change. There are some times where, the directors or whatever decide to change something, and it was awful. Like, why would you change it like that? Like, if you're going to change it, there's definitely better way, there's a better way to do it. But that didn't happen. And I thought that this way was okay. And I liked it. I'm not going to go into the changes because, if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't played it, I'm not really, I think you should play it and go see the movie, because I thought it was pretty good. Okay, so, oh my god, we're already almost 20 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to the books. So, let's get on with this. There isn't that many books. So, for the March mid-wrap-up, these are the 3 books that I talk about in that wrap-up, and I just hit myself in the face with it. Yeah, these are the 3 books that I talk about in that wrap-up, so if you want to go check that out, please do so. And there were also 3 books that I didn't end up reading this month that I'm not going to be reading. These aren't ones that I'm going to be adding to another TBR, because, for reasons. So, 2 of them are rereads, Illuminae and Gemina, and then the last one was The Edge of Everything by Jeff Giles. Illuminae and Gemina, I've just decided I'm not going to reread them. I've tried to reread Illuminae, and I was liking it, but I was definitely, like, I remember too much of this to really be, like, to be able to immerse myself back into it and fall in love with it at the moment. Like, it's really good, but I just wanted something new, not something I already knew, and it was the same thing with Gemina. And then for The Edge of Everything, I started reading this and found I didn't really like it. I wasn't really liking what I was reading, so I decided to DNF it, and I will be unhauling this when I unhaul all my books. So this just isn't something that I'm enjoying, so I'm not going to be continuing on with this or with the rest of the series when that comes out. Okay, so now let's get on to the books that I read in the last, well, in the week. In the second to last week of March, because, yeah, these were all books that I read before the readathon, which is the last week of March. And I've already talked to you guys about the first 2 weeks, so this really only happened in 1 week. Alright, so first I read Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, again, for like the third or fourth, actually. I love this book. I will always love this book. I read the one with the bonus content in it, which has the first emails between Blue and Simon, which I loved. Oh my god. I really want to just pick this up again and read it again. I love this book to death, and I cannot wait for the end of April, or like the 24th of April when Leon the Offbeat comes out. I'm excited. I can't wait. This was fantastic. Of course, 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read, then I read a trilogy, and that was the, let's see. I don't know if this is called, like, okay, it's the Most Wanted trilogy. It's got Wanted, Heated, and Ignited. And these follow three friends who are sort of criminals. They met through, like this, I think, camp for criminals, if I can remember correctly. It's been a little bit. The friends are Evan Black, Tyler Sharp, and Cole August. And they were taken in by this like billionaire. He's really eccentric, and he took them in and pretty much like gave them a home, kind of. They still ended up with their criminal dealings, but that's just who they are. And okay, so the first book, Wanted, follows Evan Black and Lena. Lena is the niece of the guy who took them in, and they are getting together at the funeral of her uncle. He has just since passed, and Evan and Lena have been fighting this like attraction for each other for so long that now that her uncle has passed, and her uncle who didn't want them to be together, but he's passed, so now that they don't have to fight their attraction as much. And yeah, it's smutty. These are spin-offs to the Stark trilogy by Jane Kenner. All of her books, I believe, correlate in some way to the Stark trilogy. But yeah, this is Evan and Lena. I love their story. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Heated follows Tyler Sharp and Sloane. Sloane is a undercover cop who is searching for a friend of a friend who's gone missing, and she believes Tyler has information that will lead her to this friend. I did enjoy their romance more than I enjoyed Evan and Lena's, though I really love Evan and Lena's. I just didn't like the story as much. But I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And then Ignited follows Cole and Kat, and Kat is a friend of Lena, and Kat has this big secret that she doesn't really want anybody to know, but when her father comes back into the picture, she must open up to Cole, and yeah, she has to let it out. And yeah, I really love Cole and Kat. This one was my favorite. This one I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really loved their romance, I think, more than I liked Evan and Lena's. But yeah, I really enjoyed this trilogy. Not as much as the Stark trilogy, and not as much as the trilogy after, which was Sylvia's trilogy, but I did enjoy these three, and I enjoy Jay Kenner as an author, and she's a smutty author, and I really enjoy her. So yeah, these three were the next 3. And then lastly, I picked up Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I really like this so much. I give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. So if you watch the movie, you will be so confused, because I was. So in the movie, Diana is older than she is in this. In this, she's like 17, or, like 16 or 17. I believe in the movie she's in her 20s. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And, when Diana in the movie leaves Themyscira and goes into the modern world, it's World War II. When she does it in this book, and she's younger in this than she was in the movie, it's modern day. It's modern day. It doesn't tell you exactly. Like, I wish there was years in this, which it would tell you, but it doesn't. But it does reference World War II and other wars since past. But yeah, this is about it's about Diana, who enters this race to prove herself to the Amazons. She proves that she's just as good as they are. But during the race, she sees a ship exploding, and then, she hears screams, so she runs into the water to save the girl who's dying. And she brings her to the island to heal her. And then finds that, everything's going to hell. Some of the Amazons are really sick now, which they're immortals. They should not be sick. Like, they should be, this shouldn't be happening. And the island is experiencing earthquakes. Just really bad things are happening ever since Diana brought this girl to the island. So Diana goes and searches for the Oracle, to find a way to heal the island, and she learns that she must go on this journey with this girl and bring the girl to the spring where Helen of Troy is buried, and the girl must bathe there, because the girl is a Warbringer, and if her powers are officially risen, it'll be hell on earth. And she finds that this happens like a lot. Every war can pretty much correlate to another Warbringer, and this girl is no different. But yeah, I really, really loved it. The ending, I actually didn't see coming. I didn't see it coming. And I'm really glad I didn't see it coming, because it made me really like it more. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely want to pick up Batman now. Batman Nightwalker, I think. And I'm excited to pick up more from this series. Even though I know it's from different authors, but I really liked what Leigh Bardugo did with Wonder Woman, so I am excited to see what Marie Lu will do with Batman, and Sarah J. Maas will do with Catwoman, so we'll see. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed all the books that I have read this month, and yeah, so that's it for this wrap-up, guys. These were the books that I read in, the week before the readathon hit. Again, you will see another wrap-up for the readathon next week sometime, and yeah. So that's all for me today, guys. I'm so sorry for the long video, but I ended up doing so much because I was on vacation from work for 9 days, so I did a lot in that week, and week and a half, and I'm really happy that I did, because it was amazing, and I had a lot of fun. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye. Happy reading.